Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for dropping in on the first Duff podcast. We'll talk about the fall that we just finished up and look forward to the spring season coming up here. I'm KP. I went to NC State, graduated several years ago, played Ultimate for a minute. I've been coaching Duff now for 9 years, maybe some change. My I don't know. I'm trying to think of a fun fact. I'm extremely flat-footed. That's my fun fact. That's it. Kev, you're up.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name's Kevin. I graduated 2 years ago. I played all 4 years. Um, Joined helping KP out halfway through last year. Um, and my fun fact is I was 5 years old when KP was a freshman in college. And I know he finds that really funny.
My name's Garrett. I'm a senior. This is my third year playing Duff. Um, my fun fact is that I think I was two when KP graduated high school.
What's up, guys? I'm John. I'm a sophomore, biology major. I've been playing frisbee for just about 2 years. My college career at Davidson, and I was not even born when KP graduated high school. So I guess that's my fun fact.
New fun fact: I am no longer coaching Duff.
Lee, don't let Lee, come back. Wait, Lee. You quit.
Yeah, I guess it's over now. But we'll go into a little bit of a fall 2023 recap, season recap, tournament recap, to get things started off with. Um, so we started off the fall with Bank Run tournament. And this was just a little over like 2 weeks um into the fall. A lot of our new guys had barely figured out how to throw frisbee. This was kind of just fun, getting everybody's toes wet, kind of just figuring everything out. Did a split squad and had like minimal subs, 1 to 2 subs on each team, and everyone just got a ton of reps. And I think that was super beneficial. Good kind of first tournament. I know a lot of the guys, we were sore after that first tournament, just sheer amount of running that we were doing. And then next thing we went to Bare Bones, also in Charlotte. Another good local tournament that we missed out on the year prior. This tournament was good. We started to kind of put things together a little bit more. We got a few wins under our belt, which was really nice. And we were played as one, no more split squad. So this was good to kind of build up our confidence. Got really some solid wins over Georgetown, USC's B team, another. I think we went to a Universe Point and we won on Universe Point, which is something we rarely do, and that felt good. I know we were all really excited about that, even though it might have been against some some Duff alumni and some old heads, but nonetheless, we won on Universe Point. Um, and then the next up for tournaments was in the fall. We were supposed to go to Brickyard. Unfortunately, Brickyard got canceled. And we were at NC State. We were on the fields, 10 minutes till game time. Everyone was enjoying the wet, ready to get to play in the rain and to get muddy and all that, to lay out. But fortunately, can't do that on those fields. And that kind of was a bummer for everybody because we know that's a tournament where we're gonna see kind of some more top competition. It may not be a tournament where we're most successful in terms of wins, but it's the most beneficial for us, especially in the fall, in terms of kind of seeing how good these teams really can be, and showing what we need, our weaknesses being is it's kind of in the midpoint, sort of more towards the end of the fall. Um, So yeah, that was kind of a crucial tournament that we missed out on. But we're looking forward to loading the spring a little bit, and hopefully that'll make up for it. And then the last tournament, a little bit more of a minor tournament, but it was the Loco Throwdown. Wake Forest hosted this tournament. This is some good local competition that was in our region. Um, we played a number of good games, some good wins under our belt during this tournament. We also got to, face Elon, who is going to be definitely our big um, regional rival this year, alongside a few other teams, as we all know. But it was good to face them, see what we're going to be up against, in the spring. That game, we did end up losing that game, but we now know kind of what to expect. Um, and yeah, otherwise, we ended up beating Wake Forest in a close game. That was also pretty noteworthy. And I think the big takeaway from that tournament was that for what I saw, we were able to be competitive as a team. So yeah, overall a good fall, but this spring is gonna be even better. So I'll let Garrett kind of go over like some player recaps from the fall.
Yeah, so moving into the spring, right? Now we have our sanction season coming up, which is where, we're just trying to win games, right? Fall's a lot about developing, figuring out the pieces that we have, who exactly we're working with, but springtime's ready to roll. So we have a pretty good idea of what our starting O-line, D-line is going to look like. So I'm just gonna, walk through that, so you can kind of see where we're at right now. And obviously, things can change as the season goes on. We have people, start to step up. They can get their spot for sure. But this is sort of where we're at right now. So starting with O line, our two handlers, number 1A and 1B, gotta say, Seth and Wes. So Seth is the junior captain, and Wes is a sophomore. So thankfully these guys are going to get to play with each other for another year coming up, but both really dynamic. Wes is just so good. Can hit pretty much any throw he wants. Great break throws. Super reliable with the disc. Where Seth is going to be a little bit more of a threat to make the big play. So those two, really excited to see them working in tandem. Um, then we have our unicorn, Beckett, who's pretty much going to be doing everything for us. So we're very fortunate to have him join the team this year. Excited to throw him in the handler space. We're getting some nicknames thrown around for him right now. Becky, the Big Cheese. Um, so we'll see where those go for the rest of the season. But excited to have him on O line as well. We got our 1 and 2 cutters in whatever order you want. That's going to be John here, and our boy Jerry, the Chengdu Warrior himself, Chengdu Panda actually. I mean, for anyone who's ever seen Duff or been around Duff the last year, you know that Jerry can pretty much jump with anybody he wants to. He can go get whatever disc he wants, and John's motor is second to none. So those two are really going to be working our O line, cutters 1 and 2. And then rounding it out, we got Shane and Ben. So Shane's senior captain and Ben's junior just came back from being abroad too. So we're excited to see him, see the work that he's been putting in. But those two are great, reliable with the disc. Awesome pieces to have to round out O line. Moving on to D line. I myself am on D line. I believe the nickname third leg is being thrown around because I have injured every other part of my body. Um, so we got that.
No other reason for that
Yeah,
nickname.
no,
No
not
other
at
reason.
all. I do know what a third leg is for the record, Kevin. Thank you for asking. I'm trying to keep it PC for the kids. Um, you know, so yeah, I'm on D line, senior captain, and then we got our next two pieces are Josh and Wash. So Josh is a sophomore. Josh has probably had the biggest growth in anybody over the past, at least my time on Duff, from his first to second year. So really excited to see um, the what he's going to look like on the field in the spring, right? Wash is a junior, also broad, also Duff's sexiest man. Very excited to see him running out on the field. He can pretty much run with anybody, make any play he wants to. So he's going to be a dominant force out there too. Then we got Ben, Ben number 2, new Ben, Ben A, man by many names, but he is best known for yelling profanity when he drops the disc, which is a little too often. But we're still working on with him. But he's awesome piece, great motor to have on D line. We got Isaac, also senior, best pools on the team, disc golf champion, I believe. Real excited for him as well. And then we kind of have a open challenge for a lot of these other spots. So we got a set of sophomores and a set of juniors. We got Srijit and Andre, both super athletic, raw talent, still trying to hone in, on the field skill, but very excited to see what those two do. And then Steve and Ethan, 2 juniors, also a lot of raw talent. Excited to see what those two do. But that's a general sense of O-line, D-line. So what you can expect to see if you come out and watch any of our games in the spring. Now we're going to bounce it over to KP, I believe, who's going to talk a little bit about the rookie class.
Yeah, so a couple years back, we started doing our big hat tournament to try to recruit some on-campus staff, or it's not staff, on-campus students. I'm in work mode still, sorry. On-campus students that maybe wouldn't have known what Ultimate is or what DUFF is. And we were a little bit more aggressive with trying to go out and get athletes this year. And I think it paid off. You heard a lot of people's names there that were rookies on the team that may not be freshmen. So like Ethan that we're just talking about battling for a spot on that D line is a rookie this year. We had Garrett just highlighted a couple of them in our O line with Beckett, aka Becky, or Truman, both freshmen. And then we also had a huge haul last year with our sophomores. So a lot of now sophomores. So a lot of young talent, and I think that was the case again this year. I mentioned tons of height. No, I didn't mention tons of height. We have tons of height this year. We just got to retain some of it. So hopefully that'll be really helpful. Other than that, like I said, we've got a lot of youth and not a lot of depth in our upperclassmen. So I think there was 3 upperclassmen on the team. So Garrett, Shane. Who's the other one? Who am I missing?
Isaac.
Yeah. So those are our seniors. And then I think Seth was our only junior for pretty much the entire entire fall season. So we'll get a couple of those guys back. But a lot of youth to work with, and most of them seem hungry. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. We'll kick it to Kevin for a spring teaser.
So yeah, looking at the spring, obviously with the young team, we're going to try and get as much playing time as possible. Last year we had some cancellations, which meant we couldn't do as many tournaments as we wanted. But this year we're going to try and sort of up that. We're going to have, I think, 4 tournaments well before even we get to the postseason. So that'll be good. And again, I think, especially for the team this year, with how young and how, talented and some of the experience we have at the lower level, I think it's about growth and making these guys realize, hey, we can hang with people, we can play. What can I do? What can I grow? Stuff like that. And I think we've got a great amount of leadership to help us with that too. Not only in like the sophomores and freshmen, but from the old guys who are, on their way out, so to speak. Sorry, Garrett. Sorry, Garrett. But for anyone who wants to follow along for the year, there's a guy named Cody Mills who does Frisbee rankings. Currently, Duff is ranked 25th. And so if you guys want to follow along with the season to see how Duff's doing, see their results, see the games, see how many points we gain, this is a really good way to do that. It gets updated pretty much after every tournament. So that's one good way to look into that. And then also we're going to be updating a lot more social media. Obviously, KP's got the Slack. We were just talking about the Twitter before we started this. So I think spring's going to be very active. And I think for the team, everyone's pretty excited. One thing to add into this, KP put a question in a little bit ago in the Slack about questions to ask at the tournament. And so far, I've only had one response, and it's from Michael Robertson or Mike. And please, God, don't let him ask this question, because right now the question is, the game looked fun, but at the end of the day, the disc goes back in the, I think he meant bag, and you graduate. Then any group you're in, each pill you swallow, all the children you sire just can't touch that Duff standard of fulfillment. Wouldn't you rather forget? Please, someone ask another question. I cannot ask that to anyone on the team.
That's the Davidson difference right there.
Oh my God. But looking towards the spring, I think, Garrett, you've got a bit of a rundown for the tournaments we've got going, so I'm gonna kick it to you.
Yeah, and our esteemed coach, KP, I believe, has a little graphic prepared. Yes. So, first tournament, very excited. I believe this is the first time that Duff is attending Carolina kickoff at UNC Chapel Hill, which we're very, very excited about. So this is going to be a tournament with a lot of high-end D1 teams. So a little similar to what Brickyard is, hosted by NC State every fall. Similar tournament, a lot of similar teams in the Triangle area are going to come out to this. But this is probably as much as you can hit the ground running when it comes to your first tournament, right? So this is going to be a lot of top end competition that we're going up against. Really going to be tested, kind of see what team we're going to be this year, right? There's a good chance that we're going to get knocked down by a lot of these teams, but then we'll have a choice if we want to put in the work so that doesn't happen again, or kind of crumble and fizzle out. So really excited for this first tournament. Thankful for the invite from Chapel Hill, obviously. And really looking forward to this coming up in about a week and a half from when we're recording this. So we just started classes today, so this is a pretty fast tournament coming up on the schedule, but we're real excited for it. Moving on now. Commonwealth Cup. So this is our second tournament. This one's going to be in the second week of February. We went to this last year for the first time, I believe, and finished fourth. Finished fourth with a loss in semis to the eventual champions. So we're very excited for this tournament. This is a little bit different than Carolina kickoff in the sense that it's going to be more teams around our competition level, which gives us a good chance to come out and win this tournament. So that's going to be our goal for this tournament, is getting that win. We're going to see a lot of similar skilled teams, a lot of teams we might end up seeing later in the year at regionals. So looking forward to this one, coming out a little bit different than our first tournament, but a really good second tournament to keep the ball rolling for the year. Our third tournament, which is the tournament of D3 Frisbee, the D3 Tune-Up FCS Invite, hosted by the one, the only Mike Ball, cordially named the Mike Ball Jamboree. Just truly an inspiration, Mike Ball is. So we want to do everything we can to get to see him. So we're going to come to his tournament. Like the Frisbee will be fun, but I think in speaking with a lot of the underclassmen on the team, really excited for autographs, photo opportunities with Mike, all these sorts of things. So looking forward to this one, but this is obviously going to be a great tournament. Get to play, I think eight of these teams last year made nationals. So we'll really get to see where we line up. We stack up against the top D3 teams. And then finishing it off, our annual tournament in Charlotte, our home spring tournament in a sense, needle in a host stack. This is one of the biggest tournaments in the South every year. I believe there's going to be about 60 teams playing this year. So very, very excited to be a part of this. A great solid tournament to end our regular season. Going to be matching up with a couple D1 teams, a couple D3 teams. A really good chance to keep the momentum, really kind of iron out those wrinkles that we have in the team so that we can roll into regionals. Peaking, which is where we want to be. So that's sort of the tournament schedule for the spring. We tried to load it with a lot of tournaments this year. so that we can really get lots of reps together as a team, and rolling and make that Natties run this year. So now I'm gonna pass it off to Kevin, I believe, who's gonna talk about a tournament you're most excited for.
Yeah. Thanks. And I think for me, uh, I've never been to kickoff. I never got to even see kickoff. So I'm saying Carolina kickoff is the one I'm most excited for. I know it's gonna be real early on, but I think it'll be um I think the hardest competition we get all year. I mean, obviously Dark Side are hosting, so they're the top dog in this entire sport. Um, but then you also have like KP's alma mater, NC State. They're gonna be there. Um, and you got Skyrise, who's our local little friends. So we're really excited. Yeah, yeah. Wait, put it back up. Bring it back. Bring it back. There it is. um, so I think to me, this tournament is going to be the one to, again, grow a lot. Obviously, D1 teams, they've got athletes. Most of them have been playing Frisbee for a pretty long time. And they're going to be tough. But I think for a team like Davidson, the tougher it gets, I think, is the most time you can get growth. Also, it's kind of right in our local area. We didn't get Brickyard, which I think to me, Brickyard is the most fun tournament of the entire year. But hopefully this will be a nice little substitute for that. Get us going, get us a good gauge of where everyone is, kick everyone's butts back into gear, and hopefully, have some fun. So I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Kind of for me, tournament that I'm also looking forward to would be the FCS D3 tune-up. It's coming on the weekend after my birthday, so kind of just gonna be a little bit of a late birthday present for me.
Are you born, John?
I was born March 1st, 2004.
Oh,
You know, I don't know. For anybody watching this, I hope that doesn't make you feel too old. But yeah, like Kevin was saying, I think the Carolina kickoff will be like the Brickyard we didn't have. And it's coming up real soon. So, that could be a little bit of a smack in the face, but it is going to put us in the right direction. And I think by hopefully by March 2nd and 3rd, when we hit the FCF's D3 tune-up, we'll have Commonwealth under our belt and the Carolina kickoff. And by that time, I think I'm hoping we'll have the ball rolling. Guys will be locked in. And this is where we can show what kind of team we really are against good D3 competition. So yeah, for me, that's what I'm looking forward to. Some notable teams in our region are going to be there as well. So we've got CNU, Davidson, Elon, Navy, and Richmond. And so these are all people in our region that we're going to be, going up against. And so like Garrett was saying, like 8 of those teams went to nationals. So hopefully we're one of those teams this year. That's the goal.
So speaking of goals, so like every year we talk about what our team goals are. I think Garrett mentioned it. I think the guys just started class today. Our first practice is tomorrow. We have kickoff in like 4 days after that, what it feels like. I think like we've got 4 practices and then we go to kickoff to hopefully kick some butt and not just get our butts kicked. But we got a team meeting tomorrow before our practice to talk about our spring goals and spring aspirations, and then how we're going to get there. What I imagine is probably going to come out of that is that we want to go to tournaments, obviously, and then get better and improve at each one we go to. And then best case scenario, we're peaking once we get to the series. And as most DUFF teams are, what comes along with that is I'm sure the team wants to be a hella weird. It's what DUFF is really good at. For some of you might know, like last year was the weird regionals and conferences at the same time. I think from the size of our conference in our region, super unfortunate for us last year, considering we had 2.5 tournaments rained out due to weather. So I think we played like a tournament and a half, maybe 2 tournaments going into conf regionals. I don't know if that was the official name for it, but that's what we called it. So hopefully with this tournament schedule we keep talking about, we'll have some opportunities to figure out what we are, what we aren't going into that. Even though we didn't have much, we didn't have a whole lot of reps with each other last year going into that. We took Richmond to Universe. And I think we figured out something with our team like the week before that. We just didn't really get a chance to try it too much. But hopefully this team will be in a really good position once we get there. I'm going to kick it back to John to highlight some rookies.
Yeah, so Garrett kind of touched on it a little bit, but for me, the two rookies, that I'm going to highlight are Beckett and Truman. These guys are, freshmen. Um, and I'm pointing them out just because I think they're both incredible athletes, and they both have some sort of frisbee experience. Truman has good bit of frisbee experience in the DC area, playing some club frisbee there, being on I think the U20 mixed team that went I think second in nationals, but don't quote me on that. But again, he's got some good frisbee experience. So it's nice coming in, having a guy that kind of already knows about the game, and now we can just build up on him, and he kind of learn how he fits into the into the team, the Duff team, into our system. And he's been incredible. He's super super fast. He's gonna make some nasty cuts. He's got good decision making. And again, he's got that high motor too, so he'll be defensively as well, like lockdown, and he'll just not stop running. So yeah, he'll be on that O line. Definitely going to be looking out for him. And then, like I was saying, Beckett, he doesn't have an ultimate frisbee background, but he's got a disc golf background. So I'd still say that's something there. And you can really tell, you can see it in his throws, and his pulls as well. He'll be on the O line, but nonetheless, he's got an ability, a touch with the disc. So and he's 6'3", maybe taller. He's maybe 6'4". He's tall, and he's got legs. He can run. He's I'm looking forward to it. He can jump pretty high too. So he's gonna be I think this spring is where he's gonna shine, and fully kind of come out of his shell and sort of learn to fully understand the game of the ultimate frisbee. That's still a little bit new to him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to both those guys.
So, just another sort of spotlight for the spring is my personal breakout candidate for the team. I've flip-flopped this about 6 times, but I think I finally set on the one guy, and that's going to be our boy Andre. So Andre has been a little bit injury plagued over the last year and a half. He's a sophomore, but finally healthy for the first time, able to put in some work over winter break, and he can go hand to hand with anybody athleticism, man. Like that kid can jump, he's fast, and he's really starting to put in the work on his throws. So if he gets those throws figured out, gets a little bit more frisbee sense, I think he could be a huge contributor for the D line, a really sneaky player that's kind of coming out of nowhere this spring. So going with going with Andre, but thankfully there was a bunch of guys who I think all have potential to break out. So hopefully got a bunch of guys coming to steal the spotlight in the spring.
Andre had the best layout D last season, in my opinion.
That's true. Last year at Commonwealth Cup, Andre played 1 point, had a fully horizontal layout D in the end zone, broke his glasses,
Done.
and that was it. And he did his time. But I mean, that's the sort of ability, right? Plays 1 point, injured, willing to put his body on the line. So
Yeah, you did
super
say injury
excited to play with him. Yeah, yeah.
But he's back. But he's back.
He's back, baby. He's back.
I've got another one just to highlight here. I'm actually gonna go with 3 people. And 2 of them are quote unquote older. We have two O-line veterans. Obviously we've talked a lot about these guys already. So we've got Wes, who I think is going to be a big impact for us this year. And then Jerry, who is going to be a huge impact for us this year. Those 2 on the O-line last year kind of know the scheme, I will do a quick shout out to some, I guess, alumni here for, I think it's Chris and Mikey, right? Who are his
Yeah.
coaches?
At USN, which
Yeah.
I'm going to plug
Yes.
really quickly because they're also singing us another recruit, Gavin.
So keep the pipeline going. It's been great. And then we got our new O-line player this year with John, who's joining the crew. So I think those three guys are gonna show us what they've got this year. I think they're gonna make a huge impact.
Yeah, so it sounds like I should probably talk about some D guys since Kevin took the entire O line. Obviously you all understand how Ultimate works. O is fantastic, but if you don't get any breaks, you don't win any games. So I'll steer that way. I'm going to highlight a guy on this call. Garrett, as of now, is the only captain that will be playing on our D line. And whatever success our D line has, it's gonna run through him.
Pressure.
No pressure. No idea what role he's going to play on the turn, but he's probably going to be guarding some of the tougher matchups or take an easy matchup. But I'm going to ask him to do a lot in that way still. The other guy I'll highlight from the D line is probably the loosest cannon we have on the team, and Josh Matuchek. Man, this guy is. It's wonderful that he has such a. He's got the memory of a goldfish. So like, if he messes something up, he's going to forget it 6 seconds later. But because he forgot it, he's probably going to do it again. So we are working on Josh. He's going to make some crazy athletic plays that are going to be huge momentum swingers. But if we can get him dialed in, then between him and Garrett, I think our D-line offense is going to be as successful as they are. Fellas, any closing thoughts or shots at anyone other than me about my age?
Yeah, I'll kind of say, well, I thank you in general to the alumni. Any of you who end up watching this, who knows? But I do understand that a lot of what we are able to do, as captains, especially, but also just as a team, is because of work that all of you have put in prior years. So thank you for that. Whether that's figuring out budget, setting the framework for practices, coaching, just how the season works in general. I just drafted the USAU email that I believe has now been recycled for 7 years in a row, starting with Mac, I think. So incredible work there. But yeah, trying to keep all the traditions alive as best as we can, like passing down flags and passing down fat heads, all sorts of stuff like that. I'm still talking to guys about, who was playing at nationals in 2015, who was playing at nationals in 2017, right? Trying to keep all these memories alive. So appreciate all that you've done, and we're really working to keep Duff just as strong moving forwards.
Yeah, and I just want
And
to say,
crickets. There we go.
well, here's something right here. If you can see this in the background, and there's that there. So some things that have been passed.
Wait, go back.
Was that Ben?
There's something else over there.
Oh, that's Ben over there.
What's
That's
that, Ben?
That's Ben. He'll be on the D line, but yeah. Also, shout out to alumni. Thank you all. Many of whom I really don't know because I'm just a youngling on this team. But I'm still reading through the history books, the Duff history books. But yeah, thank you for this. Beautiful. That gets a lot of use.
I'll also shout out alumni. You guys are awesome. I'm getting to know more of you now, so I agree with what everyone said. Like the stuff you've passed down from year to year in terms of how to play, like grittiness, skills. It is I can't even fathom how much we have learned from you all. So thank you so much. One shout out, Mac. Please hope the Packers win next weekend. Please. Mac Harris, please hope the Packers win next weekend.
Cool. I'll keep it going. Most of the alumni appreciate y'all for all you do. Some of you that I had to play against, I appreciate you now, but I did not appreciate you then. Looking at you, Craig Stewart. Also, any of the alumni that are still active in the Ultimate community, best of luck to you. Stay healthy, with the exception of Drew Nichols and Ari Mackey, who will play against quite often. I think they're coaching at Mary Wash now. Yeah.
Quite often, as in possibly only one tournament this whole
Yeah, I think we'll be at are they going to Commonwealth? Is that yeah?
Maybe. We'll
Maybe.
see. Maybe.
All right.
Possible.
Think so.
You're going to get wrecked whenever we see you. So I understand if you want to wait till the series. So there's that. That's probably a good ending point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
well,
Appreciate y'all.
I think
Oh,
well, one last thing. I think our motto for the spring going forwards, and if you come to games, you'll hear this. But from Duff to you, Salnima.
yeah. Which is it means get wrecked, Mary Wash.
Mhm.
Sounding
That's,
Ma.
that's what we
Salnima.
say it.
What if they look that up and know what it is?
That's what I'm saying. That's all right.
Well, get wrecked.
You got to come to a tournament to find out.